In this video, we're going to be going through beginner basics for DaVinci Resolve 20 and a step-by-step guide so that you can edit your first video like a pro. Let's talk about it. All right, let's jump right in with step one, which is to go to the DaVinci Resolve website and download the latest version of DaVinci Resolve. Now, you can either choose the free version or you can download the paid version, which is the studio version. It's a one-time payment and gives you access to all of the features of DaVinci Resolve. Once you've made your choice of which one you're going to do, let's open up DaVinci Resolve. I do have the studio version, so if some of the features that I show are not available in the free version, that's probably the reason why. But I'm going to try to only show you features that are also available in the free version so that you can get started and access all of these features that I'm going to show you in this video right away. So open DaVinci Resolve. You'll need to create a new project. So that's step one. Download DaVinci Resolve, open, create a new project. Let's move on to step two. As you can see when you open it up, the interface is set up in pages so that you could technically work through each page until you're done with your edit. But I'm just going to show you my process and how I like to work through the pages. Hopefully that will make it more simple for you, but you can do this however you want to. This is where the customization comes in, and you getting in there, editing, figuring out what works best for you is going to be different than other people. So this first page is the media page. This is where you could dump in all of your clips if you wanted to, sort through and find what sections what clips you want to take out, if you need to delete some, that kind of thing. This next page is the cut page. Technically, this is where you could come in, add in your media clips that you've already sorted, and cut through the sections of the clips that you want to actually use in your video. Then this next page is the edit page, and this is honestly where I start because I actually learned on Premiere Pro and some other editing softwares first before I learned DaVinci Resolve. So I'm used to just jumping in and being in the timeline kind of page. So this is where I start my edits. Then, just so that you know what they are, the Fusion page is this next one where you can do some really cool effects and kind of deep dive into learning how to do some really technical things. The color page is obviously where you would color grade your video. The Fairlight page is where you can do audio and audio effects. You can EQ, do different things, whatever you need to do to your audio, you can do it in this page. And then you have the Deliver page, which is where you can export out with whatever settings that you need so that you can get your final product of your video saved to somewhere on your computer or hard drive. But like I said, I start everything in the Edit page, which in my mind I think of as the timeline page. So let's start there. This may come up in a variety of different ways for you, but let's just go over a few basic things. This top window right here with the little tool is the inspector. You can click on that if it's not displaying. This is where you'll be able to edit main things about your video. And this little icon over here is your media pool. This is where your clips will be. So let's start by adding in our video clip that we're going to edit. You can find it wherever you saved it in your documents. You can select it and you'll just literally drag that right in to your media bin. Now we want to create our actual timeline where we will edit the video. So to do this, you can go up to File, click New Timeline, and then this is where you will set your settings, whether you're doing a reel or a long form video, what you want your aspect ratio to be, that kind of thing. So uncheck Use Project Settings if you don't already have this set up. Go to Format and make sure I have this pre-saved, like the project settings are pre-saved for Reels because I edit that the most. So when I want to do a horizontal video, I just uncheck that, go in and do uncheck vertical resolution, and that way we have a regular size 16:9 timeline. Click Create, and that will create a timeline. And that was basically step two. Knowing what each of the pages do, bringing in your video, creating your timeline so that you're ready to go. So for step three, let's actually put our video on the timeline and start editing. You can do this in a couple of different ways. You can double click on your video to watch it in the player and go through and select in and out points for which section of the clip you want to use, or you can just click and drag the whole video onto your timeline, and that way you can just trim it inside your timeline if you want to. So I just pulled the whole clip in, and you'll see when it pulled in, this layer was a little bit smaller, so all I did was drag right here so that I could see my waveform to know when I talked in the video, and that kind of helps me figure out where I need to cut. I did this intro a couple of times, so now we just watch through and see which version I like better and which one is the final clip that we're going to edit. Okay, so I've found the section that I want to use. Now we need to trim just that section. So to trim different parts of your video, so to trim it, we'll just bring we'll bring the end of the clip to where I want to trim it right there. But now we need to make a cut. To do that, we can click B on our keyboard. That will enable the blade tool, which you can see is right here. Blade edit mode, and it says B, which is the keyboard shortcut to access that tool. So I'll just go wherever I want to trim and click. Then to get back to our selection mode, it says right here you can click this icon or you can press A on your keyboard, and that gets you back to be able to select things. And now I have the little section that I want to use, so I'm just going to click on the other section, click delete. Then I can click in this empty space, click delete again. It'll delete that empty space and move my clip to the beginning of the timeline. Or if I had other clips, it would move that and butt it up next to each other and clear out that empty space. Now that I have my clip ready to go, you can see that if I select the clip in the inspector over in this panel, you have different options that you can use to make changes to your video. You can zoom it in and out if you needed to reframe. So I can kind of see in this video that the desk looks a little bit crooked. So I'm just going to zoom it in just a little and then rotate the angle just to make that desk look a little bit straighter. You can do position, so X and Y axis will move it up and down, left and right. That way you can position your video exactly how you want it. So step 3, we've got our clip ready to go. We've kind of got it looking exactly how we want it. We've got it sectioned off to the point where we want it, but you're probably noticing this needs to be color graded. So that's where we're going to go over to the color page. And the method to color grade inside DaVinci Resolve uses a method called nodes. And basically you can think of nodes as layers. From left to right, as you create little node trees, that will stack your changes on top of each other until you get to the final product. And color grading takes a lot of practice, so don't be overwhelmed by this up front. But maybe find a LUT, which stands for lookup table, which is basically like a preset for video. Find one that you can download that automatically converts your footage into the right picture profile. And if you're shooting in a regular picture profile, then you won't have to make a whole lot of changes in the color page. You can just do small tweaks to your video and it'll be ready to go. But if you are shooting in a log format, you can find a LUT that easily just converts your video to Rec. 709 and gives it a stylized look all with one click. Phantom LUTs, the RE neutral LUT is one that does this. I'll show you what that looks like. So you could apply this neutral LUT, or I have a LUT from Mark Bone that was his YouTube log cinema LUT that I love to use. So we're just going to apply that to the second node. Then we're going to click on this first node and make basic adjustments that the video needs. It's a little bit overexposed, it needs more contrast, and we're going to go in and just tweak little things like that. So to do that, we're going to come over here to color wheels. I'm going to increase the contrast a bit. And your lift, gamma, and gain are shadows, midtones, and highlights. And then your offset affects your video as a whole. So as you can see the waveform on the side, and if this doesn't show, you can click these 3 little bars right here and adjust your waveform to make sure that this displays. Or you can click here and display it in different forms. There's your vector scope, but your waveform will show your overall exposure in your image. So I'm just gonna bring down the shadows a bit, increase that contrast, bring down the midtones a little, boost magenta just a hair, and let's see what that looks like. In this video, we're going to be going through beginner basics for DaVinci Resolve 20 and a step-by-step guide so that you can edit your first video like a pro. Let's talk about it. So that's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So that's a before and after. Now, so that was step 4. We made sure we color graded our video. For step 5, we'll make sure that our audio is good to go. So to start out, I'm just gonna stay on this timeline edit page, go to audio, make sure that our levels are good. In this video, we're going to be going through, and then I always use a little bit of AI voice isolation just to take out some of that reverb. I don't know if this is available for the free version, but this tool is a lifesaver. So this is almost worth getting Studio just to simply have this feature. And I'll show you what this does. Let's do a before and after. In this video, we're going to be going through and then let's apply it at about 75%. In this video, we're going to be going through, so it takes away some of that echo, it isolates the voice, takes out some of that air conditioner noise. It really is amazing. Now let's go over into the Fairlight tab and do a little bit of EQ. Now, EQ can seem scary, but this is just some simple adjustments that I do that keeps it very minimal. I'm not doing a deep dive. I'm not an audio engineer. So these are just small tweaks to make the audio sound a little bit better. So once you're in the audio page, you can come over and see your channels here on the right-hand side. I'm just gonna scroll down to EQ, double click on this, and this brings up your EQ and all of your frequencies and the different bands that you can adjust those different frequencies. I automatically add a low pass and a high pass just to bring that in a little and take out some of those low frequencies. Then I always turn up the Q factor on each one of these, and I will scrub through and listen for not necessarily bad frequencies, but frequencies that make the audio sound worse. And I'll show you what I mean. So that's band 3 and band 4. So we're gonna take band 4, we're gonna play the audio, and I'll scrub through the frequencies, and you'll hear those frequencies that stand out and kind of hurt your ears. In this video, we're going to be going through beginner basics for DaVinci Resolve 20 and a step-by-step guide so that you can edit your first video like a pro. Let's talk about it. In this video, we're going to be going through beginner basics for DaVinci Resolve 20 and a step-by-step guide. So those 2K frequencies are a little bit harsh, so what I'll do is drop them out and you'll be able to hear that change. In this video, we're going to be going through beginner basics for DaVinci Resolve 20. And then I'll do the same thing with some of these lower frequencies. In this video, we're going to be going through beginner basics for DaVinci Resolve 20 and a step-by-step guide so that you can edit your first video like a pro. And then I'll bring the high pass down just a little bit more. In this video, we're going to be going through. So that sounds pretty good. Here's a before and after. In this video, we're going to be going through beginner basics for DaVinci Resolve 20 and a step-by-step guide. So just a small change, but it kind of takes out some of those higher pitched frequencies that just didn't really match with making the audio sound as good as possible. So once we've done that step 5 of making sure our audio sounds really good, at this point, you could totally export this video and upload it, and it would be a great video. But let's add just a little bit more by adding some custom text that kind of makes this video pop and add some visual interest to the video overall. To do this, we're gonna go up to Effects, which is right here, open that panel, click on Titles, and click Custom Text, or Text Plus. This allows you to customize the title. There are also built-in different styles of titles that you can use, but we'll just go ahead and select Custom. We can drag that over our clip. You can come in and select what fonts you want to use. You can change the color and where you want to position it, how large it is. And then we can go in and just type what I'm saying here. You can adjust the tracking, which is just the spacing between those letters. Beginner basics for DaVinci Resolve 20 and a step-by-step guide. Now we can come in and just make some of these big and reposition them. Okay, so we've put some text on. Now I'm gonna show you how you can animate the text just a little to give it a little bit of movement. So at the beginning when it says, in this video, I want those to kind of drop in. So for this first one, I'm gonna have the text slide in this, and then video come down from the top. So to do that, I'm gonna come to right here, and this is where I want the text to be at this point on the clip. So I'm going to go over here and select these little keyframes on position and zoom while I have the text selected. I'm going to go back to the beginning and just drag that X axis all the way over until it disappears. Then I'm going to right click on this and say ease out, and if you click this little arrow, it'll take you to that next position that you marked, and you can just say ease in. And this will just make that transition smoother. So let's see what that looks like. In this video, that's cool. So now let's make video come down. So we're gonna keyframe right there, go to the beginning of the clip, and I want this one to drop in from the top. So I'll just move the Y axis all the way up. And then again, to make it smoother, I'm gonna say ease out on both of those little keyframes. And now let's see what that looks like. In this video, so that's cool. Now, let's do a different effect on beginner basics for DaVinci Resolve 20. So for beginner basics, let's find where we want it to stop here. Beginner basic. So let's, right there, click on title, come down to right on. We're gonna make a keyframe. Then go to the beginning of the clip and just drag this little line. You'll see the letters disappear. And this will make it appear as if it writes the text on the screen. So you can see what that looks like. Through beginner basics. And then we can do the same thing for this clip. For DaVinci Resolve 20. We'll set the keyframe, come back to the beginning of the clip. For DaVinci Resolve 20. So that looks really cool. And now for our last text where it says Pro, let's practice adding an effect that's already built into DaVinci Resolve. So you can go over to Effects, click on Open Effects Filters, and you can scroll down and you can try several of these. This one will make the text shake. There's all kinds of different effects that you can do. So let's add this camera shake effect. We'll drag that onto our clip. Then you'll see that appear up here in effects, and you can adjust all of these little settings. I'm gonna have the motion scale down a bit and the speed down, turn up some motion blur. Let's see what that looks like. Like a pro. So you can see that the Pro just moves around a little bit. We can also come up to video transitions, and we could drag one of these effects onto the front of our clip right here and see how long we want it to last. And this will transition it in. So let's see. First video like a pro. So that gives a little bit of a wobble. So that's just a few ways that you can add in some effects to your video that's already built in. And I showed you how to do some that are a little bit more custom so that you can animate and do the text exactly how you want it. So let's watch through and see what we've created so far. In this video, we're going to be going through beginner basics for DaVinci Resolve 20 and a step-by-step guide so that you can edit your first video like a pro. Let's talk about it. Nice. So what would really complete this is just a few little sound effects that you could put in when those texts come on and like the different, pops or typing sound for when it writes on, that kind of thing. So I'm gonna do that really quick. So with a few sound effects, it really brings the whole thing together. Now, as a final touch, I'm just gonna add in some different zooms and punch ins, and I'll show you my process for doing that. So we're just gonna select our video, come in, make sure we keyframe where we currently have it. Then I'll come to right here and I'll zoom it in. Reframe, make sure these keyframes are easing in just so that it's a little bit of a smoother transition, and we'll see what that looks like. In this video, we're going to be going through beginner basics for DaVinci Resolve 20. We'll keyframe again, come here, zoom it back out. Resolve 20 and a step-by-step guide so that you can edit your first video like a pro. And then we'll do a little pulse right here since the word kind of pulses so that it matches. Video like a pro. Let's talk about it. And now let's watch our final product. In this video, we're going to be going through beginner basics for DaVinci Resolve 20 and a step-by-step guide so that you can edit your first video like a pro. Let's talk about it. And of course, you would put this in a full video, maybe with some music in the background, and this is really how you can edit in DaVinci Resolve with some very basic tips and tricks and make your video look professional with just these few steps. Anyway, I hope this video had some value and helped you get started with understanding DaVinci Resolve. Editing really takes lots and lots and lots of practice. But with practice, you'll be able to know the ins and outs of the software and be able to do pretty much anything you want to. And I encourage you to look up different tutorials on YouTube to be able to learn how to do certain things. I'm constantly learning, still figuring out things about the software, still learning how to do certain things, do different effects, and make my videos look better each time I edit. Anyway, if you found some value in this video, be sure to check out some of the other videos on my channel.